What's good, YouTube? See one Mac back in the building, back with another video. Let's keep it simple. I'm here to discuss this. I want to watch this video. This video grabbed my attention. I want to know from y'all experience, how do y'all feel about this video that we better react to? 6 features that make black men handsome. I want to see how many of those features I actually got. I also want to know if there's anything I never considered that I need to consider more. I'm just curious, and I want to know from y'all experience if y'all agree or disagree, and what would you rate my features? You know, I know what I would rate my features. I might discuss it while we were watching this video, but shout out to Cultured Aesthetics. Link to their channel will be in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'm curious, man. I'm ready to go. I'm raring to go.
These are the exact facial features that make black men attractive, based on peer-reviewed research. These are not opinions or social media takes. This is actual data from over 50 years of research in evolutionary psychology, facial aesthetics, and anthropometric studies. We spent tens of hours analyzing multiple studies, filtering out contradictions, and broke down what consistently shows up, so you don't waste years guessing what actually matters.
Oh, facial hair. So before we even get started, I'm gonna talk about my facial hair. My facial hair is one that I like but don't like. You know? Matter of fact, hold up. Let's see if I make my face bigger in this one. Would this be enough? Nah, let's not do too much. But facial features. Let's do this. You see this? Like, the way this feels, the way that it looks in the mirror, the way this looks on the camera. I like it. I love it. I love this right here, right? Now, it's not gonna be fully covered. It's not gonna connect and all of that stuff. There's patches. But it's light. It's like a light coating that I like on my face. So there is a degree of facial hair for me that I like a lot. Like, I feel a tad bit more confident because I enjoy the certain level of facial hair and look to it. And it feels very, very comfortable. It doesn't feel prickly. And it's a smooth. Something about it is smooth. It's like a light coating of maturity. Whatever it is, I like it. I like the way it looks on my face. I like how my mustache looks. But if people were like close to my face, there's certain things that I don't like about my mustache. Like, my mustache has a few flaws in itself that doesn't necessarily connect or look as good as this one right here, right? So, like, for instance, the middle part where the little dip goes at the center of the nose, it goes like the hair could possibly, when the mustache grows, if you don't keep it trimmed, it can possibly like look like it goes into the nose. My stuff doesn't connect as much in the middle, or I haven't figured out yet how to trim it to a certain level of low and keep it that way. But once I figured it out, I'm going to like master this shit and do it every week. So doing something to my facial hair at this age, the fact that I haven't done anything to it, is because I love my clean shave look, but I also want additional looks. I always love options. So I'm gonna work on it. I might put some oils on my face, get a certain level of goatee, so on and so forth. I thought it would be something I could do with my barber, but I don't know if that just required more money that I could be saving or what? But yeah. That took too long.
One of the most visible indicators of masculinity in black men is the presence of facial hair. In a study conducted by Dixon and colleagues titled The Masculinity Paradox, researchers digitally manipulated images of men to vary the amount of facial hair they had, from clean-shaven faces to light stubble, heavy stubble, and full beards. Over 8,000 female participants were then asked to rate each version based on attractiveness, and the results might actually surprise you. When faces were clean-shaven, men with extremely masculine or extremely feminine facial structures were perceived as less attractive than men with moderate levels of masculinity. This suggests that facial hair can partially mask extreme facial features, bringing the face closer to an average or balanced appearance. However, the most attractive ratings did not go to clean-shaven men or those with full beards. Instead, light and heavy stubble faces consistently receive the highest attractiveness scores. In other words, moderate facial hair appears to enhance attractiveness by emphasizing masculinity without overpowering the face. But here's where it gets interesting. In another study led by the same author, titled The Role of Facial Hair Distribution in Females' Judgment of Men's Facial Masculinity and Attractiveness, the researchers found that women rated men with evenly distributed facial hair as significantly more attractive than men with patchy or irregular growth, suggesting that not only does the amount how it's distributed across the face.
My bad, y'all. There was some people that went out and had a good time, and it shows. Like, I can hear them
But here's the
outside.
twist. Women's preferences for facial hair was dependent on the context of the relationship. Men with beards were often preferred for long-term relationships than short-term ones, while clean-shaven may be favored in short-term contexts. But it's also crucial to note that the most...
You know what? And just to add a little bit on the smooth shave side, just because I'm a smooth shave person, my face is a baby face and it can come off as refreshing. But what I might add is, I guess because of my hair texture on my face, that my smooth skin will probably be more beneficial. And maybe light stubble wouldn't be so bad like the way it is right now when it comes to a certain activity, adult activity. Like when it comes to going downtown.
The most important indicator to whether you should get a beard or not is your underlying bone structure and the size of your jaw. While facial hair can modify appearance, the underlying facial structure plays a far more fundamental role in determining male attractiveness. The strongest contributors to facial masculinity in black men are typically found in the lower third of the face, particularly the jawline and chin. These structures are influenced by testosterone during development and often function as visual signals of biological maturity, dominance, and virility. A prominent jawline, for example, is widely recognized as a masculine trait. But here's the thing. The visibility of these features can be influenced by facial adiposity, or the amount of fat stored in the face. Higher levels of facial fat tend to soften or obscure bone structure, which can make the face appear less defined. And because of this, jaw definition is often associated with lower body fat levels and higher physical fitness, traits that may indirectly signal health. In a study by Windhager and other researchers, they analyzed different male profiles and revealed an interesting distinction between heavyset faces and more slender facial structures. Here's what they found.
Where you find it at?
Your upgrade is ready, Langley.
My upgrade?
Enjoy.
See y'all later.
Experience the sounds of magic.
Faces with very large lower jaws were often perceived as more dominant, but not necessarily more attractive. This is because these faces were also associated with higher facial adiposity, which can reduce perceived health or fitness. Instead, the men rated as most attractive tended to have narrower, more angular, and well-defined jawlines. Chin size also plays a role. Research consistently shows that a larger and more prominent chin is perceived as more attractive in men. Chin prominence refers to...
Hold up. Okay, I got you. Curious.
How far the chin projects forward relative to the rest of the facial profile. While extreme projection is not ideal, a slightly protruding chin is generally perceived more favorably than a recessed one. Jaw width another
I don't know.
key
Let me
factor.
find out one day.
Men typically have wider jaws than women, making jaw breadth a sexually dimorphic trait and a reliable indicator of masculinity. In research conducted by Mogilski and colleagues, jawbone prominence and facial height were identified as two of the most important contributors to male attractiveness, alongside thicker eyebrows. And although cheekbones contributed to facial structure, their influence on attractiveness was found to be weaker compared to features of the lower face. When people look at a face, their attention is usually drawn first to the eyes. Eye shape and size can subtly influence how masculine or feminine a face appears. Larger eyes are typically associated with femininity in black women. In men, however, slightly smaller and more rectangular eye shapes are often associated with masculine facial structure. But attractiveness is not determined by masculinity alone. Research suggests that larger eyes can sometimes increase male attractiveness, particularly in contexts related to long-term relationships. This connects to a broader theory in evolutionary psychology
I like my
known as the
eyes,
good genes
my eyebrows,
hypothesis. According
my
to this
eyelashes.
hypothesis,
I love
certain
them.
masculine traits may signal genetic quality,
My mom
physical health, or competitive ability, which
But I
may be
love them
found to be
personally
attractive to
myself.
women in short-term dating contexts. Think hookups, one-night stands, etc. However, these traits can also come with trade-offs, as highly masculine men are sometimes perceived as more aggressive, risk-taking, or less likely to invest in long-term parenting. This trade-off has led researchers to propose the masculinity trade-off hypothesis, which suggests that women may balance preferences for genetic quality with preferences for stability and parental investment. Although the evidence for these patterns is mixed, the theory highlights an important point. Attractiveness is rarely determined by a single trait. Instead, it reflects a balance between multiple signals. Another feature closely linked to the eyes is eyebrow thickness. In the same study by Mogilski and colleagues, thicker eyebrows were found to have an even stronger impact on masculinity and attractiveness than the masculine eye shape itself. Thick eyebrows tend to frame the eyes and emphasize masculine.
Hold up. I haven't sat there and let this video play without seeing it because I'm trying to see the features. My eyebrows is not as thick. They could be thicker. But I like what they are. My bad, y'all.
Facial structure, thus being attractive. The mouth is a central
Matter of
feature
fact-
of the lower third of the face and naturally attracts a lot of visual attention.
Let's go
Known
back.
as the good genes hypothesis. According to this hypothesis, certain masculine traits may signal genetic quality, physical health, or competitive ability, which may be found to be attractive to women in short-term dating contexts. Think hookups, one-night stands, etc. However, these traits can also come with trade-offs, as highly masculine men are sometimes perceived as more aggressive, risk-taking, or less likely to invest in long-term parenting. This trade-off has led researchers to propose the masculinity trade-off hypothesis, which suggests that women may balance preferences for genetic quality with preferences for stability and parental investment. Although the evidence for these patterns is mixed, the theory highlights an important point. Attractiveness is rarely determined by a single trait. Instead, it reflects a balance between multiple signals. Another feature closely linked to the eyes is eyebrow thickness. In the same study by Mogilski and colleagues, thicker eyebrows were found to have an even stronger impact on masculinity and attractiveness than the masculine eye shape itself. Thick eyebrows tend to frame the eyes and emphasize masculine facial structure, thus being attractive. The mouth is a central feature of the lower third of the face and naturally attracts a lot of visual attention. While thicker lips are associated with femininity in women, masculinity is often associated with thinner lips, as women typically have thicker and more voluptuous lips than men. However, another study highlighted that thicker lips can be attractive in men. So which one is it? Thick or thin? Well, it turns out that lip size doesn't actually matter when it comes to attractiveness. The size of the mouth, however, had an impact, as research by Grammer and colleagues suggests that a wider mouth was found to be attractive in men, possibly because it could signal good health. A measurement you should be looking for is a mouth width from the left to the right corner to be about 1.5 times the nose width. So
Hold up. Ooh.
For the mouth itself, proportions matter more than lip size. Now, a common question is whether dental aesthetics impact attractiveness in any way. Researchers led by Robin Baker studied how much people notice men's teeth when judging attractiveness. They took photos of men who were rated unattractive, average, and attractive. Then they digitally changed the teeth in those photos to show three dental conditions: healthy teeth with no treatment needed, slightly bad teeth needing borderline treatment, and very bad teeth with clear treatment needed. 64 people looked at these images, while an eye-tracking machine recorded where they looked on the face. They found that when men had average-looking faces, people looked at the mouth the most, no matter how good or bad the teeth were. When the teeth were slightly bad, people looked at the eyes and mouth about the same amount. When the teeth were very bad, people looked at the mouth more than the eyes. So, depending on the amount of dental work needed, you will most likely benefit from dental treatment no matter how attractive you are. The nose occupies the central position of the face, making it one of the most visually prominent features. However, research suggests that smaller noses are associated with attractiveness and femininity in women. Men can typically get away with a lot more nose shapes and sizes. As according to a study conducted by Cunningham and colleagues, nose shape was found to have relatively little impact on perceptions of male attractiveness compared to other facial features. Instead, attractiveness appeared to depend more on how well the nose fits the proportions of the face as a whole. The same research has suggested that just like wider mouths, larger noses in men may be associated with perceptions of good health. But overall, nose attractiveness is strongly dependent on facial harmony and proportion, rather than size alone. If you would like a free workout plan made solely to help you achieve a scientifically attractive physique, then click the link in the first comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wonder what it would cost to get like a better nose. Huh. Well, according to this, I have pretty good chances. I think in my particular face, it's the lack of thick eyebrows. Like maybe my eyebrows should be thicker. I think I'm good with the eyes based on this. I think my nose actually factors in a bit more. I think my mouth is good. My teeth is good. It could be better. And if I could just lose the weight around here, I think I would be on the right track for more looks. But since I don't usually look for people to get more attention from, I'm good. I'm good with this. So if I get a thinner face, it'll be because of my preference. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. What is y'all rating? What do you think y'all rate? All that stuff. Until next time, that's the next video.